Sports College Football presents CFA football, Texas A&M and Colorado from Boulder. The Colorado Buffaloes, number 7 in the national polls, wearing the home black shirts. It's a college football team that's played in a lot of big games over the last decade, but few bigger than today's matchup against number 3, Texas A&M. Ralphie leads them out. Succeeding Bill McCartney. He is the second youngest Division I head coach in the country. On Wednesday last, the first snowfall of the coming autumn fell up to 12 inches in some areas of Colorado. The president and vice president's planes delayed 3.5 hours leaving Denver. The postcard brought lots of damage, millions of dollars, as 500,000 trees were lost to damage in the greater Denver area alone. Today, the temperature's in the high 60s, and it's a great day for a game of college football. Hello again, I'm Keith Jackson, along with Bob Greasy. Lynn Swan is on the field. Bob, this matchup today between the Buffaloes and the Aggies offers some really wonderful tactical matchups.
Well, it does, Keith, and I'm looking forward to seeing two of the best college offensive players around. Leland McElroy, the running back for the Aggies. He leads the team in rushing, leads them in pass receiving, and leads the nation in kickoff returns and also in all-purpose yardage, over 320 yards.
We're ready to play football in Boulder, Colorado. The Texas A&M Aggies will kick off as soon as they can get the ball to stay on the tee. Lyndon Henry, number 39, and Herschel Troutman, number 5, waiting for the black-shirted Buffaloes. And the weather is just about right. The first time these two teams have ever played each other, and ironically, they will start Big 12 conference play against each other next year at College Station. Troutman is a tailback and a very dangerous man with the ball in his hands. Pillion's kick is high and long and headed for the corner, and it doesn't get to the corner. It goes out of bounds at the 2-yard line, and that should give the Buffaloes the ball up on the 35. And as they come up, look for some fireworks early from Rick Neuheisel's Buffaloes. I mean, they are jacked up. They all know this is a big ball game. And the man who pulls the trigger for them is Detmer. He is a Texan himself. He leads the nation in passing efficiency, 8 touchdowns and only 1 interception. Yes, he is the younger brother of Ty Detmer, who won the Heisman Trophy over at BYU. They're having the huddle on the sidelines now. The Colorado band is behind the Colorado bench. And we expect that the Buffaloes will come out and run a no-huddle series in the early going of this ball game. Here comes the first snap.
A&M doing some late substitution to try to match up with the 3 wide receiver set that Colorado starts with.
Brian Stoltenberg anchors for the Colorado offensive front. The pass is thrown by Detmer and caught by Phil Savoy, a sophomore out of Washington, D.C. He's 6'3", 200. He is a big target, and he, like all the other wideouts, a burner. So here come the Buffaloes now, working out of a no-huddle with Lepsis and Tennyson McCarty in the field now as they go to a double tight end alignment, which is a more conventional set here at Colorado, has been at least under the regime of Bill McCartney. Herschel Troutman, they can't hold him on the first try, but he will wiggle around and pick up maybe a yard, maybe 2, but at least he didn't lose any. The Chili's starting lineup. The Colorado backs and receivers. Ray Caruth at 5'11", 190 is the real flyer of this group of wideouts. I mean, he just can disappear. He's a blur. So they've got some great speed at those wide positions. Well, they don't give him much. Let's call it second down and 10. Here's the handoff. It goes to Herschel Troutman, and Troutman will get it to midfield. Actually, he picked up the first down, so we should have called that a 1st and 10 and give him a carry of about 3.5 yards. The offensive front is anchored by Brian Stoltenberg, 280 pounds. The middle here is where the muscle is. Heath Irwin and Chris Nioli. Those 3 are first class.
Top notch. Top notch.
The ball is just over midfield, where it is 2nd down and 6. And Corey Detmer rolls it out, and he throws to the sideline, but the pass is good to James Kidd. There's a penalty flag on the field. While they're marking off the penalty, let's check in with John Saunders. The penalty is against Colorado. The ball comes back to the Buffalo side of the field. It's a holding call, and it's a 14-yard penalty. The big problem today for the Texas A&M Aggies on defense will be try to match up.
And yeah, exactly right, Keith. And they're doing a lot of substituting right now.
They show blitz. They don't do it. And a pass thrown behind the line of scrimmage on a swing to Troutman. And the Aggies are all over it and take him down at the 30-yard line. The defense for A&M will line up this way. Brandon Mitchell is the ringleader of this group, number 96, a 275-pounder, and he was looking Troutman right in the eye on that play.
And the strength of this defense is their speed. Mitchell is their best player, but they have speed, and their linebackers, Brown, Wynn, and Walker, can all run under 4.7.
Here's where the story may be told before the day is done. Ray Mickens, who's also returning punts for A&M, he and Donovan Greer are really speedsters on the corner.
A&M has always played a lot of man-to-man on their corners against wide receivers.
It is 3rd down and 25 as Detmer gets pressure. Has a lot of open field in front of him, gets his pass away. The pass is dropped by Savoy. He kind of ran into the traffic, and the ball was probably tipped as it came to him. So the Colorado Buffaloes, with a 14-yard penalty, now will have to punt.
Detmer almost makes a big play out of this. He threw it back across the field, and he didn't see Greer, 27, coming from the opposite side.
Andy Mitchell is the punter. They've been alternating punters, but it's going to be Mitchell, I'm told, today. And the deep man is the cornerback, Ray Mickens, number 24 for the Aggies. There is no pressure. It's a low kick. He's going to let it hit the ground, and now he takes it. He's got a little room, but the Buffaloes running down at the 31-yard line. 41-yard punt and a 5-yard return and a penalty flag. The officials, a Big 8 crew. The referee is Tom Allers.
We have delay of game on the return, 5 yards, 1st down.
Now we'll see A&M with the football for the first time.
We'll go back and take a look at that last punt. Ray Mickens right here says it's a short kick. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. The official thought he was signaling for a fair catch. The penalty for signaling for a fair catch and then running is delay of game. But that was a poor call because he was just signaling, get out of the way.
It didn't even resemble a fair catch. No. Well, anyway, the ball is put back on the 23-yard line, where it's Leland McElroy, Detron Smith lined up behind Corey Pulley. And the first offensive snap for the Aggies with a double wide, putting a man in motion. And pulling hands to guess who? McElroy, who is taken down after about a 2-yard pickup. Corey Pulley, 6'3", 205 senior from Deer Park, Texas. He is the nation's winningest active quarterback. 26, 3-1, and R.C. Slocum, his coach, describes him as a bit like Jay Barker, the young man that played over at Alabama.
Not fancy, just efficient, runs the offense, and doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Colorado starting with a 5-man defensive line.
And is moving all along the front. A&M trying to snap the ball, and Pulley trying to jump across and get Colorado in the neutral zone. So let's see what they decide after they sort it out. It's offside against Colorado. And so the Buffaloes will give up 5 yards here. That's the second penalty on them in the ball game. There are your officials, the group. It's a Big 8 group headed by Tom Allers.
Offside on the defense, 5 yards, Big
8, of course, disappears next year and becomes the Big 12. as 4 schools out of the Southwest Conference join with the old Big 8 alignment. And it'll be the 2 Oklahoma schools and the 4 schools out of Texas that'll make up one of the divisions. But here's the man who has been the big story, Leland McElroy. And the Buffaloes are going to be all over him all day long. Alan Wilbon, a junior whose home is in Dallas, was the first man to make the hit on him, number 23.
Keith, let's go back to the previous play. Watch this. Watch the receiver's going to come across, and watch what he does to help pull off the line, the defensive line.
Aggies with no huddle.
Yeah.
They try to catch Colorado napping. They go for the first down. It's up near the 32, 33-yard line. Let's see about the spot. So Texas A&M trying to feed Colorado a little of their own medicine. The Chili's backs and receivers, the starting lineup for A&M. McElroy, we've talked about him already, and he is considered one of the leading candidates for postseason honors, the Heisman in particular. Detron Smith gets the ball once in a while, but he's primarily a blocker. Now let's see about the first down. Short. And sitting up just short of the 33-yard line, I would be startled if R.C. Slocum decided to go for it here.
You're on the road, you punt it away, and you play defense. So both defenses winning early against the really powerful offenses.
The punter is Sean Terry, averaging right at 46 yards per punt on 7 punts this season. He's got a heck of a leg. The man waiting for it is Steve Rozga for Colorado. He is a safety, and I mean, he is a good one. Tough guy, but he can keep the football in his possession when he gets his hands on it. But that's a rocket.
Great kick.
I mean, that's gone forever and a day. That's downtown and then some. It'll come to the 20-yard line where it'll be first down for the Colorado Buffaloes. That goes in a 68-yard punt.
CFA College Football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Chevrolet. The cars and trucks 36 million people depend on every day. Genuine Chevrolet. State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. The Document Company, Xerox. And Red Wolf Lager. Really red, really smooth. Follow your instincts. Elevation at Folsom Field, 5,334 feet. More than a mile high. From the 20-yard line, here come the Buffaloes in their second possession. Coy Detmer back to throw it, takes all day, throws high, missed his man. He had James Kidd available and simply threw it over his head.
The game stories for Colorado, their offense, they have the number 4 offense going against the number 4 defense in the nation. We'll see who wins that battle. And the defense hold McElroy to under 225 total yards today, and that seems like you could hold anybody under 225, but that's receiving, rushing, and return yardage. He is an impact player.
The Buffaloes have a timeout here, so Coy Detmer is wandering over to have a visit with the head coach, Rick Neuheisel. Rick wanted to know why he called timeout. Jack Swigert, offensive lineman, 50, 51, and 52. He was a member of the Apollo 13 crew, that unsuccessful mission to the moon that has been so dramatized of late. One of 15 CU graduates to fly on a NASA mission, and unfortunately we lost Jack at the age of 52 in 1983. Cancer. 20-yard line now, second down and 10 for Colorado as they try to get themselves squared away. The Aggies show blitz, and they're coming. The ball is stripped. Colorado can't cover it. It's in the end zone. Touchdown. Texas A&M. Finally, Aggies finally get on the ball. So they blitzed him and blew it into the end zone, and David Maxwell is the man with a touchdown.
From the left side, both teams defensively doing some things they have not shown in the past. Mitchell, 23, knocks it loose. That's Keith Detmer tries to pick it up. You should just fall on it. Nice. That's win number 9. Still loose. And finally, Maxwell falls on it.
Brandon Mitchell looked like he could have wrapped it, but the thing wouldn't quit wiggling. And he missed the chance for the TD. The kick is good. Kyle Bryant for the extra point, and the Aggies go to the lead 7-0.
There's 23 being blocked there at the tackle. Smith does a nice job of knocking the ball loose. Now the mistake here for Colorado, just fall on it. That's Nioli 65 and the quarterback Detmer. Maxwell thinks he's just going to celebrate. He said, wait a minute, I got a touchdown here.
Keith Mitchell is 6'3", 223, playing at that defensive end position. Has great quickness, and he just simply ran around that tackle. That tackle won't handle it. Well, maybe they'll get it fixed eventually. The ball is hammered down to the 1, fumbled there by Trotman. Finally, he's got a little running room up across the 20, holds his way to the 30-yard line. Texas A&M flying all over the place defensively right now as the defense gets the touchdown. And boy, does that jack up a team.
Oh, and Colorado offensively and the whole team is a little shook up right now. Troutman fumbled the kickoff return a little bit. There's a little indecision. Now the offense has to go right back out with the memory of they just fumbled the ball and lost it for a touchdown. So Detmer needs some positive plays. They stripped the first 15 plays offensively for Colorado, so they're still going through their script.
That last play that they ran where the ball was knocked loose was a very slow developing thing. Aggies aren't going to give you time to mess with that kind of stuff. This is Herschel Troutman running over the right side, getting a little daylight behind Nioli and Stoltenberg, and there's a flag. Buffaloes have had 2 penalties already. A&M's offside. Here's Lynn Swan.
Okay, it's the reason why Rick Neuhauser ran a no-huddle offense was to get the Aggies to think about that number up there. That's the altitude here. He's been thinking about that since the preseason. He wanted to test them physically to
have them psychologically think about the thin air here. R.C. Slocum said the temperatures in Texas have been over 100 degrees every day at practice. He will substitute liberally for his guys to make sure that oxygen debt does not become a problem. He will give them a lot of rest. Keith?
First down and 5. After the 5-yard penalty on the offsides, and Detmer back Petticoat with it down the middle, got Kidd wide open, and Kidd trying to shake a tackler, couldn't do it. Saving the touchdown is Donovan Greer, but it's a big play for the Buffaloes.
Well, here's the linebackers. They're going to be blitzing on the outside. But what's the matchup up here? The receiver one-on-one. When you blitz, there's nobody left in the secondary to help you out. Detmer read it nicely, had time to throw it, and this is the thing that you get offensively when a team blitzes. You get a lot of big play opportunities.
Good teams answer scores. Colorado trying to do just that. Ball is handed to Trotman going around the corner. He's caught for the nape of the neck by Dat Nguyen. He is a Vietnamese linebacker out of Rockport, Texas, 6'1", 213. Not so big, but boy, he can run.
Oh, he can run is right. And he was a little banged up earlier in the week, and the defensive coordinator, Phil Bennett, said, you know, if you can't play now, we're going to put in Trent Driver. He said, no. He says, I get ready for Colorado. I get ready. In his own little slang, he says he was going to be ready.
Second down and 7. Troutman again. He's stocky, and he's very strong. He stands in at 180, but stands up only 5'7", so he's hard to find. And he's got a first down for the Buffaloes.
Well, from behind the defense, it's not Stoltenberg, 64, center, who has snapped the ball and then pulls around. Colorado uses a lot of pulling by their center. Not too many centers can do that, but Brian Stoltenberg is one of the best in the country.
Ball just short of the A&M 17-yard line. First down for Colorado. Detmer's pass to the corner. Man's over there, but he cannot reel it in. Phil Savoy covered by Donovan Greer. Well, Greer's made 2 big plays defensively for Texas A&M.
Well, it looked like pass interference. In college, you can face guard. You can put both hands up. There he's got both hands up. Does he touch him before the ball gets there? I don't know. There's another look at it. They were blitzing, so single coverage. Threw it to the outside. Looks to me like he may have hit him a little bit before the ball got there.
If Savoy turns the other way, though, he gets it. This is Trotman shaking another tackler and running inside the 15 down to the 14. So they'll be looking at 3rd and long. He got away from Edward Jasper. You got to wrap up Trotman. You're not going to arm tackle him.
Yep, that's right.
Just as you're not going to arm tackle that fellow number 34 on the other side either, McElroy. They've got a committee of tailbacks succeeding Rashaan Salam, who's now with the Chicago Bears. Marlon Barnes will be in shortly. Then here comes Lyndon Henry. They all built about the same way. Strong.
Here they come.
Pass to the sidelines, and it is complete, but out of bounds in a hurry is Ray Caruth. And they will be looking at 4th down, and the kicking team will be on the field.
Phil Bennett, the defensive coordinator for the Aggies, blitzing again. Colorado and Detmer reading it, throwing to the hot receiver, but still short of the 1st down, forces a field goal try.
Neil Voskerichian is on for a field goal try. The ball will be put down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a 28-yarder. He's 3 for 3 on the season, and all 3 of those have been inside the 30, so he's there again. The holder is Steve Roska. Good snap, good hold. Blocked by Ray Mickens, cornerback for A&M.
Ray Mickens is one of the smallest people on the field. He's only 5'8" and 170 pounds. He's the starting cornerback, comes around from the outside, lays out, and prevents the 3 points. Big play. Left side of your screen, just going to go around the outside. Good film study, good preparation by the Aggies. They knew they might be able to get around the corner.
So they cover the ball and take over at the 25, and what did they do? No, they didn't burn the clock. Let's see, what about it? Might be
false start.
That's normally
on the
it.
offense.
So
5 yards.
backs them up 5, and Monday makes it a 1st down and 15 for Texas A&M. Bullock's pass incomplete. Intended for Danny McCray. Thrown quickly and thrown hard.
And this is what Colorado defensively wants to do. A.J. Kristoff, the defensive coordinator, wants to force Pulig to beat him. He does not want to let McElroy beat him by running the football. Force Pulig to throw it and throw it on 1st down. Here's A.J. calling Captain Blitz.
Pulig back to throw it. Heats on. Gets it away. And it is incomplete. It was intended downfield for Chris Sanders, but he didn't really have a chance. Here's Lynn Swann.
Keith, just to follow up on what Bob said, Pulig is going to have the weight on this game on his shoulder because there are going to be so many people trying to stop McElroy. What he has to do is to be a 60% or better passer in this ball game. And it doesn't matter whether the receivers are in good position to make the catch. They got to make the catch. Doesn't matter whether he's going deep on 1st or 2nd down or whether it's 3rd and 8. He's got to be successful so the defense will open up to give McElroy a lot more room. Keith?
20-yard line, 3rd down and 15. Shotgun for the Aggies as Pulig comes up to the line trying to change the play, and the crowd trying to whip him. Blitz is coming, and they burn the clock.
It's tough to check off when you're in the shotgun, Keith, because the offensive lineman cannot hear you. That's what he was up there yelling at. He was yelling at his offensive line.
So Captain Blitz got the job done in a way, in a sense. He changed his defensive alignment.
On the offense, the delay of game preceded the false start. Therefore, 5 yards and repeat third down.
It'll be 3rd and 20. RC is saying, look at here now.
Yeah.
You've been here in hostile crowds before.
And he knows that the strength of this team is not the offense. They only returned 3 starters from last year. McElroy was not a starter. He is definitely one of the top players in the country, but without him, they're just an average offense.
Crowd making as much noise as they can. They hand the ball off. There's nothing doing. Greg Jones just ate up the play, number 59, and the Buffaloes now are jumping up and down as they have backed A&M up and held them deep in their own territory.
Yeah. The defense is dominating this game in the first quarter on both sides.
So into the end zone goes Sean Terry. His first shot today was a 68-yarder. Pulig was limping when he left the field. This is not going to be 68 yards. Rodzica has a little bit of room, but can't do much with it. He was trying to wait for some help to come down the field, but number 5 for Texas A&M got him quickly. It was Toya Jones, one of the defensive backs. And there's another penalty flag down on the field. They're talking about it at the 41-yard line of Texas A&M. And it's an illegal block by Colorado.
Without that penalty, Colorado would have had pretty good field position.
Now, both coaches have had some things in mind here in the first quarter. It's been frantic. Just frantic. But maybe they'll settle down into some
It's been hectic
routine.
because the defenses have been disruptive.
Yep, right.
It's not been an offensive game. The Buffaloes have tried to substitute 3 wide receivers and whatever. They have found out that the Aggies are substituting right with them. Whenever they go to 3 wide receivers on offense, they go to 5 and 6 defensive backs on defense. So there is no gain in the substitution. The Aggies are right there with them.
Sooner or later, they're going to have to hunker down and play football.
Yes, they did, and now they are. They got 2 tight ends and 2 wides. It looked like they may be trying to run the football.
Trotman up the middle. He's got 4. People stepping into the middle are Keith Mitchell and Larry Walker. Larry Walker's a very busy fellow, number 32. Again, not all that big, but he sits in the middle of that linebacking core, and
he's got speed, though, Keith.
yes, he can really run.
They say he ran a 4.39. He's a linebacker, so he ran a 4.39 in the spring.
Trotman again running inside the tackles. A couple of yards. And the ball is now at the 45 of Colorado. Here's 20.
Well, Keith, you saw Pulig limping off the field. The trainers are telling me there's nothing wrong with him. He may have had his foot stepped on by one of those big boys down in the trenches, but he is fine and we'll be back in the ballgame.
All right, Caruth comes in at the wideout now for Colorado. He was out for the previous play. Savoy is back. Davis is out. Caruth will be down. There he is, number 21. He's down at the bottom of your picture, and the roll is this way. And here's a little flip outside by Coy Detmer for a first down. He'll scare you to death, but once in a while he'll come up with that kind of a play. And Rick Neuheisel has been threatening to take the option out of the offense unless he starts getting rid of the ball.
Well, he got rid of it that time, and one of the things with Detmer is he gets too pumped up. He gets too fired up. You may have seen some clips in the highlights where he goes and jumps over people, just barely gets rid of the ball. It's turned out a good play.
They keep the ball now at midfield. Drops it, picks it up, rolling around, trying to get a hold of it. And I think Detmer has finally covered it. The thing was alive, and the beanbag went down. The ball on the 47-yard line now, Colorado, and it'll be 2nd down and 13. Marlon Barnes is in the ball game for the first time at tailback. Detmer's going to throw. Lets it fly. He's got Savoy, and Savoy's going to get a flag. That's interference.
You got to call that.
Ray Mickens fouled him. It's 15 yards and a first down. Better than giving up a touchdown.
Well, yeah, but you know the key matchup here are the wide receivers against the cornerbacks, and here is Mickens on Savoy. There you go. That's a foul right there. He's already passed him, and he hit him. He's all over him. That's going to be a battle. That's going to be a... Hey, come on.
He's refereeing too.
That's going to be a battle all day long. The two corners, Mickens and Greer, against the wide receivers, Savoy and Carruth.
Both teams now total 8 penalties in the ball game. 15-yard penalty puts it inside the 38 of Texas A&M.
Here they come.
And they caught him. Marlon Barnes running it on the blitz, and he ran right past the blitz and picked up about 5-6 yards. He was one step from breaking it. See, that's one of the things that R.C. Slocum talked about with McElroy. If he gets Colorado, if you can get McElroy into the Colorado secondary 5 times, I figure he'd probably score 4.
That's right.
3.
But we're almost finished. We got 4 minutes to go in the first quarter, and McElroy's only been in for 6 plays.
That's right. So Detmer to the sidelines and overthrew it. May have thrown it that way intentionally because James Kidd had Ray Mickens lurking right behind him, and that might have gone the other way.
Right on, boss. He was covered. He was covered.
He's 4 out of 8 now for 42 yards. And I'll tell you what, when Ray Mickens gets it going the other way, you don't catch it.
Mickens has been a key factor in this game already. He's blocked a field goal attempt and covered several. He's not big, but he's got great speed, and he can play. He's by himself again.
3rd down. Detmer's pass is just enough for the 1st down. Ray Carruth in front of Donovan Greer.
Man-to-man coverage. Carruth is the guy they want to get the ball to. Just enough for the 1st down.
Well, if the strength in the secondary are the corners, Colorado's got some pretty dadgum good tight ends. That means that middle is suspect for A&M defensively.
Well, unless they put a wide receiver at tight end, Lemsus, the tight end, has not caught many balls.
Detmer keeping it there and going to turn it up for a couple of yards, and that's all. Now let's check in for news about Ohio State with John Saunders. As we come back to Boulder, Colorado, after a lot of transmission troubles here, let's go back and show you what has happened. The ball will belong to Texas A&M at the 20. But here's Coy Detmer dropping back to pass. He's going to complete the pass to James Kidd. But in the aftermath of the pass completion, Detmer is going to twist his knee and wind up on the sidelines, laying on the cart while the doctors examine him. Here's another look at it.
He's going to hurt this knee when he twists around right here. He couldn't have kept running anyway. He had to fall down, but it wasn't from a hit.
Now that set up a try on 1st and goal for Colorado. 3 times they ran wide, and A&M just stuffed them. They finally settled for a 30-yard field goal by Musketchewan. At least they're on the scoreboard at 41 seconds to play in the 1st quarter. It's 7-3 ball game, and Troy Detmer now with a brace on his right leg is headed for the clubhouse.
And boy, you hate to see that, Keith. He was having a fine season, leading the nation in passing. He was the leader of this team. He had waited for 4 years here at Colorado to have his chance to play. When Cordell Stewart graduated, Rick Neuheisel inserted him and says he is the real deal. He is something special.
He leaves with 6 out of 10 and 66 yards and 41 seconds remaining in the 1st half. Colorado kicking off to A&M after a 5-yard penalty. Aggies want a shot at returning it. Jason Leslie, who transferred here from UCLA, good kicker, but he won't get this one quite to the end zone. And the Aggies mess it up. McElroy's kicked around. Colorado almost got it. It is covered by Texas A&M, but they almost booted it away.
Can you believe this? McElroy, he is the all-time kick return leader in college football, and the freshman, the true freshman, Parker, number 8, wants to take it back.
Yeah, he hadn't quite turned 18 yet.
They want to kick it away from McElroy, and there it is for McElroy to run back. He leads the nation. He has returned 4 kickoff returns for touchdowns in his career, and the true freshman won't let him catch it.
Wow. They line up in the I formation now. The ball is at their own 9-yard line, 1st and 10. Corey Pulley throws it. Pass is completed. Play is out of bounds, caught by Albert Connell. At the conclusion of today's game, we'll select a genuine Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game from each team. To date, Chevrolet has contributed almost $5.5 million to the scholarship funds of America's colleges and universities. That was the 7th play of the first quarter for Texas A&M. Colorado has had 27. The Aggies lead 7-3. It was a defensive touchdown for the Aggies. It is first down out on the 21-yard line. Pulley with good time. Throws intercepted. It's off the hands of Connell. And it is Elton Davis down to the goal line, but they won't give him the touchdown. So the defenses are dominating.
Well, the fake is to McElroy, but watch the linebacker. Right there on him. Pulley puts the ball where he needs to put it. The 3rd interception of the year for Davis, and he almost gets it in. This is what they're trying to do. Colorado wanted to take away McElroy and force Pulley and the receivers to beat him. Can they do it? Not so far.
1st and goal from the 1. Marlon Barnes, the deep man. Barnes to the goal line. Barnes did not get in there. He did not get in. You've got the clock running with 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. And they're just going to let it run down, and the quarter will end 7-3. Texas A&M with the Buffaloes threatening on a pretty day in Flatiron country. Snow left over. The Aggies are on the move. The band is here. Hullabaloo, connect, and the Buffaloes headed for a new era. This will be the 5th play of the game Colorado has had inside the 10-yard line of A&M. It's 2nd down and goal, and this time they go with the quarterback Hessler, and he following the center and the 2 guards, and it's touchdown Buffalo. So they finally punch it in.
Well, and for all intent and purposes, the defenses have scored both touchdowns. Offensive line just take the ball. Hessler, the quarterback, and just sneak it. The backs coming up behind him to push the pile into the end zone.
Neil Vaskitcherin out of Rosga's hole for the extra point. And he's got it. So at 14:55 to go in the first half, Colorado to the lead by a score of 10-7. It's been a fireworks show by the defense as we check in with Lynn Swan.
Keith, when Coy Detmer came over to the sideline, they worked on him. The trainer came over and told me that it's his ACL, anterior cruciate ligament, in that right leg. He does not think it's very good. They've taken him inside to do more work on it. Obviously, he was very, very upset. Rick Neuheisel came over. He talked to Rick. Rick went back to the sideline. He was talking with Coy. Coy, literally in tears, had to limp into the locker room, but we'll find out exactly to what extent his knee is hurt, probably in the second half. Keith?
So that's going to put a ton of pressure onto John Hessler, who has to step in now at quarterback. He is a sophomore out of Brighton, Colorado.
Baseball player, Keith. Pretty good one.
Yep.
Pitcher. It's on his shoulders. He has not played a lot this year.
Jason Leslie, who's from Palacios, Texas, will kick off. And let's see now if they'll leave it alone down there and let Leland McElroy have a chance at returning it. Sir Parker, the number 8 who collided with him and almost cost him that ball a while ago, is a true freshman from Los Angeles, Locke High School, and he has not turned 18 yet. He just got himself all jacked up and got in the way. So here's Leslie, barefoot Jason. He can pop it like that, beyond the field of play. So the Aggies will come up to the 20, and here's the offensive front for Texas A&M. Chris Rubin, James Brooks, Kobe Hackrat. He just gets hunkered down there in the middle of the line and just occupies the territory and is pretty good. I'll tell you what, he takes up a lot of room.
Well, notice the sizes there, Keith. Nobody over 300 pounds, and that tells me they can move pretty well.
Yep. McElroy so far in the ball game has 4 carries for 1 yard.
4 carries for 1 yard, and we're into the second quarter.
Now the man, Albert Cannell, who had that ball go off his hand for the interception, he is wide to the bottom of the picture. He's a junior college transfer. Pulig's pass is completed out of the backfield to McElroy, who is, no, it's Detron Smith, number 44, and he's thrown heartily into the crowd on the sideline. Kerry Hicks for Colorado is the anchor on that defensive front. He's a very good one. Number 94, big fellow, 6'6" and 270. Linebackers are all good. Matt Russell is the tough guy there in the middle. And the DBs, strength is up the middle here with the safety, Leometti and Rosgo, whereas for A&M, their corners are their secondary strength. Here's McElroy. And he's taken down at about the 29-yard line, a yard short of the first down.
For Texas A&M, the thing for them, they need balanced attack. Obviously, in the first quarter, not much rushing, so Pulig has got to be able to throw and carry his weight. Defensively, the cornerback speed matching up against the wide receiver speed, and so far, it's been in A&M's favor.
The big story of the ball game is Colorado leads 10-7 as they have lost their quarterback, Troy Detmer. They suspect it's an ACL, an injury to the right knee. They've got a tight end in motion. They give the ball to McElroy for the first down as he penetrates to about the 32-yard line.
Here's a look at the first quarter stats, and take a look for Texas A&M. 1 yard rushing, passing yards 13, total yards of 14. A&M is ranked 7th in the nation coming in total offense. Time of possession, big in favor of Colorado, but it's the defenses that are dominating this ball game right now.
Aggies get their first down. Now coming wide to the bottom of the picture is Chris Sanders, having his first action, having been suspended by his coach. Pulig rolls it out, gets it away to Sanders. He's got it. He's a big target. He's 6'4", 222, and he's a senior.
A&M is doing a lot of throwing on first down, Keith, and that's really what they have to do to get the defense off of McElroy's back.
The gain is out for the 42, just beyond it, and it's good for the first down.
One of the other ways they like to get the ball to Leland McElroy is a little screen pass. Just square him out into the flat and hit him with the ball.
Texas has beat Notre Dame by 2 today. This is McElroy. It's some of the magic that he can produce when he gets in a crowd. I don't know, what is it? We've got a lot of backs that have that. Eddie George at Ohio State is one that jumps immediately.
Warwick Dunn at Florida State.
Dunn. It can pick their way through traffic so quickly.
We haven't seen a lot of Leland today, but I've seen some tape on him, and he is something special. He has got 4.3 speed. He can cut on a dime. He can catch the ball. He's elusive, and he's got great vision.
That's it, I guess.
Yeah, vision. We haven't seen it yet, but it's there.
Pulig's pass is too high. Intended for Danny McCray. 10-7, Colorado leading at 12:55 to play in the first half. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
And Pulig had McCray open. He just didn't hit him.
You notice that he's carrying the armband with the plays on it.
What happens now, they'll just signal a number into him, and he'll look down on that thing, see next to the number 18, for instance, there'll be a play much quicker and easier.
Show blitz, back out. They're coming. They pick it up. The pass is away, and it's off the hands of Chris Sanders. He was the hot man on the blitz, and he was wide open. He had a rose garden to the end zone, and he didn't catch it.
Well, you're right, Keith. Here he is lined up in the slot. The inside man's going to break to the outside, but watch as Sanders breaks to the inside. They cross. He catches this ball. He could split the defense right up the middle.
Oh, sure. Because those safeties are sitting right up in there. Leometti 15 is up, playing almost a linebacker.
Those are the plays that you have to make. Yep. They're taking McElroy out, so somebody else pulling, and the receivers have to step up.
So Roska will go back deep as Sean Terry comes in for his third punt of the ball game. And fair catch is called by Roska. Back at the 10-yard line. At 12:45 to go in the first half. Colorado with the ball, and they go to work with the new quarterback.
With Colorado ahead by 3, an update on Corey Detmer. It's a torn ACL. They're going to keep ice on it, put a brace on it, see if the swelling stays down. If the swelling stays down, I've been told there's a chance he might actually come back out and play. Obviously not wanting him to run the football. But the cautious, conservative route will be that he probably won't come back at all. It's definitely a torn ACL.
Wow.
That's a tough break.
That really is.
And note that he did that when nobody hit him. He did it on artificial turf as he was trying to twist and make a play.
So now here's young John Hessler, who's going to have a different sound, is going to have a different cadence, is going to have a different lot of things. And the Buffaloes are really going to have to pay attention now. Let's see about this penalty.
Dead ball, offside, on the defense.
So the Aggies help him right there.
First down.
The Aggies help him out with an offsides, trying to anticipate, obviously trying to get in the face of that young quarterback and cause him some trouble.
Well, this is a tough situation for Neuheisel. Hessler's 9 of 15 this year, no interceptions and no touchdowns.
It's Lyndon Henry, the 190-pound sophomore, who's also a Texan from Port Arthur, who is going to move the ball up for 2 or 3 yards. Yeah, more than that. He's got about 8 yards.
Well, no, the 5-yard penalty.
That was a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah,
that's right.
3.
So it'll be 2nd down and 2, and he got 3 yards.
And the offense for Neuheisel has turned conservative since Hessler has been in the ball game. He's not thrown a pass since he's been in there. He's been in about 8 or 9 plays.
Hessler rolls it out. Here's the pass. Dropped off underneath, and the pass is caught by Tennessee McCarty, who is the better receiver of the tight ends. And that'll be good for a first down, obviously. That was well-executed play. And that's the kind of a thing I think that you're going to have to see Hessler working with until he gets his feet wet.
The easy things, the high percentage passes, things that you have to move him around because A&M is not going to let the quarterback sit back there for very long. Maybe move him outside the pocket or throw 3-step passing.
This is Henry trying to go parallel. You're not going to run parallel against Texas A&M. You're not going to run wide. I mean, you're just not going to do it.
They were across the line of scrimmage in your backfield.
Brandon Mitchell just ate that play up. I mean, if you're going to go east and west, you might as well quit now and go on to the picnic. Looking around, scrambling around here, actually is what we're doing, trying to get the information on John Hessler. Coming into this appearance now, he was 9 of 15. He has completed 1, so he's now 10 of 16 with no interception so far on this season. He obviously hasn't played a whole lot.
Here they come. They're all up there.
Yep. 2nd down and 12. They'll look at him right in the eye. Looks for his hot man. Let it go down the middle. Got him. That's pretty good play by the kid. Phil Savoy reeled that in. I don't think, however, it may be. It may be a first down. That lineman standing over there, the way he's marked it, he's going to mark it at the 38-yard line, and that'll be enough.
It's a nice play, though, Keith, by the young quarterback, Hessler. You know, when this happens, when a quarterback goes down who is really, well, he's led the nation, Detmer has, and the second guy goes in, he's really not nervous. He doesn't have time to be nervous.
Oh, he'll think tomorrow.
He'll be nervous next week when he has to start. But right now, he's doing exactly what they wanted him to.
Yep. 1st and 10 for the Buffaloes. They lead 10-7. Again, a good fake, good poise, long downfield. Caruth is down there. He's got it down to the 5-yard line.
the wide receiver speed versus the cornerback speed. A&M goes one-on-one outside, and this time Caruth, the man they want to get it to, beats him, and Hessler gets it to him. Big-time play right there.
First and goal from the 4 with Miller and Henry in the backfield for Colorado. Ball is loose. For a second, I thought it might have popped out of there. They're scrambling around in the bottom of the sack. The Aggies are arguing for it. Nobody with a striped shirt said anything. Henry was looking for it. And it's Colorado ball.
And how do you really know?
Yeah, how do you know? That's right. Somebody just out-wrestled somebody at the bottom of the pile.
There's a look from behind the offense. 39, Henry is going to get it.
Well, again, that could be new quarterback, Bob.
Well, no, he had the ball.
He put it in his belly button.
He had the ball, and it went in there in that massive humanity, and I don't know how any official could really decide, but I guess the man that came up with it, after all the infighting, his team is going to get it.
Caruth is the man in motion. Hessler keeps it, rolls it out, gets the block, he's in. He's in. Touchdown. John Hessler, who has suddenly emerged, scores his second touchdown of the ball game.
Play action fake. Pretty good defense. Hessler just gets a block from McCarty. 2-yard touchdown. Second of the game.
And Rick Neuheisel has his quarterback in his hands, and he is walking and talking. And the kick is up by Buck Chicherin, and it is good. Oh, Fate, what a funny little thing you are. Has a good alarm off too. All right, here's the coach, and here's your quarterback. The quarterback is suddenly thrust upon center stage. And as coach trying to maybe keep him from realizing what he's doing.
His confidence is at an all-time high right now.
It has to be.
They're just saying, calm down, take it easy. You're doing well. We're going to win.
They lead 17-7. Now Jason Leslie will kick it off. And Leland McElroy and Sir Parker wait for it. Leslie trying to knock it back into the end zone again, and he does that. He's got him 8 yards deep, and he will not return it. And so once again, Jason Leslie does what he is supposed to do. Don't let McElroy bring it out.
A&M has not done much. They haven't had many plays, 3 punts and an interception, and McElroy has not been a factor.
He's got the ball right here. And they're all over him, short of the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 yards. Now here's John.
Mismatches are coming. Is one.
The Colorado defense, the 100th time this season when the opposition has gained 0 or minus yards in a quarter. And the way they're going, it's going to be a half pretty soon. 9 minutes to play in the first half, with Colorado leading Texas A&M 17-7. Second down, 11 now for Texas A&M. 9 minutes to go in the first half. And Colorado leading by 10, 17-7. Aggies have gained 42 yards so far in this half. Pulling back to throw it. Loops it down the sidelines for McElroy. He's got it, and he is taken down at the 43-yard line. He fell down actually on the 45. The guy had it marked. Now he moves it up to the 45 and across.
Well, take a look, Keith. This is one of the reasons why they cannot run the football with McElroy. There are 8 guys there. This time he's going to take the ball and he's going to swing out of the backfield and he's going to throw it to him. Fake it to him and then throw it to him. But 8 guys up there to stop McElroy. That's why he's not running. So they're finding other ways to get him the ball. That's good thinking by Steve Ensminger, the offensive coordinator.
Wilbon, number 23, is a linebacker. No way Allen's going to cover Leland McElroy. The ball is over the 45. We're at the first down for the Aggies, their biggest play of the ball game. And they'll pick up about 2 yards on that play. Here's Swanee again.
Keith, number 59, Greg Jones, was off on the sideline a couple of plays ago. They were working on the shoulders, and they say he's got a little pinched nerve in his left shoulder, so he's back in the ball game, but you may want to keep an eye on him.
Kind of trying to watch A&M to see if they're starting to huff and puff a little bit with this altitude thing that goes with playing here when you're not used to it. McElroy is just hammered short of the line of scrimmage. The loss of it, no. Greg Jones is in, Swanee. I guarantee you he's in. He was like a fallen tree on that ball carrier. So he must be all right. Second down, third down, and 8 now. Ball is up to 47. 7.5 minutes to play in the first half.
One of the reasons they had good defense that time. They had 12 players out here. Two guys came on, and only one guy went off. I'm saying that's not right. They got 12 players defensively.
Did they catch him?
Well, they're down there talking about it.
Yeah, now they got him.
Yeah, all right, that's good. There's JJ. He says, AJ, somebody's got to come off. But the Aggies had almost a hurry-up huddle and a hurry-up cadence that time. Didn't allow them to get settled, and they snapped the ball.
I wonder who caught him, though. Sometimes it's the sideline yelling for the guy to get off the field, and that alerts the official.
Exactly. Exactly.
Illegal participation. 12 men on the field for the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
That's a big foul there.
Oh, boy. It moves Texas A&M way down to the 37, 38-yard line, 36-yard line of Colorado.
Talking with A.J. Kristoff yesterday, he said we want to force Pulley and his receivers to beat us. We want to take away Leland McElroy. And for a quarter and a half, they've done an excellent job.
On first down, it's McElroy looking for a crack. And he is taken down. Penalty flag is thrown. Linesman threw it. Well, they've called it personal foul on Colorado, so there's another 15-yard penalty.
I like Steve Young also.
Nobody's going to go winless on the season, though, are they?
Oh, well. I mean, Detroit...
Look at what Minnesota scared the daylights out of the Cowboys last week.
Be all right.
Inside 7 minutes now, and the Aggies getting those 30 yards of penalties. Give it to McElroy, and he's hunting the end zone. Going down out of bounds at the 5-yard line, first and goal, and the penalty flags are flying again. Actually going to be against the Aggies, I think. Flip. Yep. Well, we've got a succession of big penalties here, haven't we?
3 fouls in a row.
Yep. Rick Neuheisel.
15 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
Spending as much time as he could with his quarterback, has now come back to the sidelines as his team is being threatened by Texas A&M. And R.C. Slocum, of course, benefiting from the first 2 big penalties, now has one thrown on him. The ball comes back out to the 22.
It's a big drive for R.C. and his Aggies because their offense really has not done anything all day. The defense got the 1 score, and with the defense from Colorado's 2 big penalties helping you get down the field, you need to get some points on the board.
It'll be first and 13. after that foul. Buffaloes with a 5-man front. Corey Pulley throws it. He had the man available to him to pass it. Caught by Cannell down at the 11-yard line. And they finally get the whistles to stop the play. They've got to go to just about the 8 to get their first down.
Yeah, all day long, Keith. 5-man defensive line, play action to McElroy, and those receivers are going to be one-on-one on the outside.
It's closer to the 10, so it'll be 2nd down and 2. 17-7, Colorado. Coy Detmer, injured knee, out of action. Could be a long time. Could be an ACL injury, anterior cruciate ligament.
T.J. Cunningham was going off the field. He's a cornerback that made that last tackle.
That means the green one has replaced it. They don't have a whole lot of experience back there.
You're exactly right.
2nd down and 2. McElroy got the first down to close to the 7. McElroy is 5'11", but he weighs 202 pounds. And there can't be much fat on him. Not the way he works. They want to check the first down measurement. The change will come in.
What does A&M do when they get inside the 20? Well, 15 times they've scored 12, and 11 of them have been touchdowns. So 80%, that's pretty good.
Looks like they're short. That much. So it'll be 3rd down and about a foot. The Colorado defense, anchored by Olson, Hicks, Price, Jones. Probably those safeties will come right in there tight too. Leomidi and Rosga.
They're not going to let you get it inside. It's going to be very tough.
Linebackers get real close. Russell, Wilbon, and Murkison. There's contact.
Got him with the cadence.
I think Colorado jumped. It'll be half the distance.
Got him with the cadence and the flanker going across.
Offside.
Watch the flanker as he comes across. Watch what he does. Now he starts chopping. Acts like he's going to take off right there. See, he pulls the 95. That's Price with the cadence and the action of the man in motion. You go slow, you go regular motion, and then when you want to try and pull him off, you go real short and choppy, and it pulled him off.
And it's 1st and goal, Texas A&M at the Colorado 4-yard line. Campbell, the man in motion. They're going that way with McElroy. He's got a touchdown. Pure muscle.
Texas A&M slams it in the end zone. They had 3 first downs, however, in that possession via penalty.
Well, we talked about his speed, McElroy, which is about 4.3, but we didn't mention his strength. He has won the A&M Strength and Conditioning title the last 3 years. Right there was an example of it. He needed it.
Kyle Bryant for the conversion. He jerked it left a goodly bit, but he got it inside just barely. And so at 5:13 to play in the first half, it's Colorado 17, Texas A&M 14. Now we'll see young Hessler come out. He was startlingly dramatic in his last time on the field. And the Texas A&M defense, I think, should have taught everybody by this time that you're not going to run east and west on them.
Not sideways, not. But,
no, sir.
But strength is still their wide receivers, and he hit Caruth on a long pass that set up their second touchdown. His confidence now is picked up quite a bit since the first time he went in a little earlier.
He's also the team's backup punter. In this game, he's 3 out of 3 for 80 yards. He's run twice, sneaking one time for the first touchdown and then running the corner for the second touchdown. So it's one of those days that will last forever.
But Colorado has a little bit of a heavy heart because they know that their leader is in the locker room with a bum knee.
Williams knocks it on the ground, and it's knocked down by the Buffaloes and covered at about the 27-yard line. Prudential halftime report. John Saunders scores, highlights, and an interview with Florida State's Bobby Bowden relative to running up the score. A little bit of talk about that these days, and there should be. So as the Buffaloes get the ball back, 5:09 to play in the first half, and put it on the 27. Coming out wide will be Caruth and Savoy. Hessler sets him up with Trotman back there. Trotman has it, bounces away from one, and will come for about 1 yard, and that's all. Those Aggies get into your face so quick. That's Trent Driver, linebacker, just was bang right there. Kind of interesting, Bob. You look around at the Texas A&M linebackers.
Yep.
You got one senior, you got a junior, then you got freshman, sophomore, freshman.
Yep. And they're all from Texas.
Second down and 9. Pressure coming. Passes looped up. Kidd's over there, and it's too long. James Kidd being covered by Ray Mickens, and here's 20.
Keith, this is when Rick Neuheisel, the coach, becomes Rick the teacher. As you know, we had dinner with him on Friday night, or Thursday night, excuse me, and he talked about how important it was to teach these young kids how to play this game. And when he came here as an assistant coach, he started working on the passing game. He improved their consistency greatly. The number of touchdowns is outstanding. Interceptions came way down. So right now is when all of that teaching ability that he has to come into play to keep his quarterback calm and confident here in this ball game. Keith?
Third down. Trotman goes in motion, puts 3 wideouts over there at the top of the screen. Blitz is on. Hessler unloaded it and got rid of it. I mean, Trent Driver was on him before he could take a deep breath, but the kid got rid of it.
See, when you do that, Keith, when you empty the backfield on all your backs, you got nobody to block the linebackers. He was surprised, Driver. He was surprised he got in there. He's looking for somebody to hit him.
We got a personal foul apparently called against. Now let's see what. Let the referee define it. The flag's way over on the sideline. May not be as dramatic as personal foul.
Yeah, Keith, all this blitzing stuff. What does that do to a quarterback? Well, on the one hand, you like it because you got single coverage in the secondary and you got some big play people. But on the other hand, if you're not sure that you got it blocked, then you're going to get some happy feet. You're going to throw the ball too quickly.
It was offside, so it make it 3rd down and 5, and he throws the ball into a crowd. He threw it on double coverage with James Kidd, and Kidd was popped between 2. Trent Driver being one of those, and he really popped Kidd, and Kidd pushed him back and then walked away from him before he got a foul. Kidd does not like the hit that Driver puts on him here.
No, he doesn't. The ball was thrown. The ball was thrown where it should have been. Little reaction there.
I'm not sure I'd like it either.
I wouldn't either.
Right in the chest.
But it was a clean hit. I mean,
it was. Andy Mitchell, the punt. Got a little pressure on him, but that's a beauty. That's a high thing, goes up above the stadium. And Ray Mickens is having none of it, thank you.
Well, he should have caught that, Keith.
Yeah,
he just didn't like the way it was coming. I mean, he lost 15 yards.
Yep, he did. But that thing had snow on it. Well, I mean, it was frosty coming down.
It's the highest one I've seen this year.
Rick was yelling about something that had to do when his quarterback was decked and on that blitz. But they got 5 yards on the offside, and he apparently wanted more. That's a 59-yard punt.
He's just working the officiating crew. He's working the side judge over there.
Yep. So put the ball back at the 9-yard line now, and Texas A&M trailing by 3 points, 17-14 at 4:09 to play in the first half. That was Andy Mitchell's career punt, 59 yards. Pulling, lets it go, and it's on the sidelines, good for 7 yards to Detron Smith. Big old fullback who gets a flash of glory now and then. Most of the time, he's a blocking back.
Well, you got that right. Detron is the leader of the blockers in there, and McElroy is certainly appreciative of what Detron can do. That's only his 3rd reception of the season for Detron Smith. He's just a blocker.
Bullock is now 6 out of 11 for 74 yards. McElroy. Nothing. I mean, they're really hunting him. Number 44 was flying through there and had a piece of him before he could do anything about it. Greg Jones was at the bottom of it. But, I mean, there are people all over him. 44 is Clifton Peters.
There's a look from behind the offense. The lineman pulling. Peters comes through and gets him.
So it's 3rd down. The ball is at the 16. It's 3rd and short 4. That could have been picked off. That could certainly have been picked off. He didn't really look at his intended receiver. He just let it go for Cannell, and T.J. Cunningham was right there. So the Aggies will punt.
That ball was thrown behind the receiver.
Yep. Pressure coming, kicks away. Going to get pretty good field position for Colorado. Fair catches at midfield with Steve Roscoe, a junior from Roseville, Minnesota. 34 yards on the punt and no return. So the Buffaloes have 2 minutes and 46 seconds. The last time they had the ball, the Aggies defense just tore them up. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. 17-14, and Coy Detmer, Colorado's quarterback, out of the game with an injured knee. John Hessler, 6'2", 195 from Brighton. Colorado is the quarterback, sophomore. Sets up a screen. A&M runs through it. And Savoy loses a yard.
Just too much speed for the Aggies. They run it down.
I tell you, those corners are impressive, Mickens and Greer. They do a lot of things. Mickens, 5'8", 177 out of El Paso. Greer, 5'10", 178 from Alif.
Now and then, he's an ex-offensive lineman. Moved out to tight end, and he does a lot of blocking. You mentioned he's 265,
but that's his 6th
reception of the year, and you know, he's going to be open a lot, Keith.
Yes.
All the attention to wide receivers.
Been available all day. Here's the first down as Lyndon Henry runs the ball down. Marlon Barnes it is. Runs the ball down to the 35. Barnes is the bigger of the tailbacks at 195. And so to the 35-yard line he goes in the first down with the clock showing 1 minute and 26 seconds remaining in the first half. Barnes is a sophomore out of Memphis, Tennessee. All right, Savoy to the top of the picture and Caruth to the bottom. He's looking at Caruth, and he throws a knuckleball that is incomplete. He was getting some heat and let it go, and he really didn't seem to have a grip on it, and the ball just fluttered away from him. Sometimes the knuckleball is easier to catch.
Well, if it's not knuckling too bad.
Yeah.
You know, if it's not a good spiral, if it's just a broken spiral, that's right. But if it's fluttered out there like some of them Hoy Wilhelm jobs, forget it.
For Joe Kemp?
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Second down and 10 from the 35. Hessler's pass underneath Caruth, and Caruth, he got away from one, but in the process lost his balance to the 29-yard line at the 6-yard pickup.
Well, this is a nice job of picking up the blitz by that inside 3 and just letting the ball go to your outlet receiver. Irwin, Stoltenberg, Nioli, Moore, and Thomas.
Third down, big play here. He's going for Savoy, and it's too long beyond the field of play, and Savoy sort of had his man hung out, Greer, but the ball was too high.
He's just throwing it too far downfield. His arm strength is certainly strong enough to outthrow these speedy receivers, but you've got to keep it in the field of play.
And his flow of adrenaline is flood time.
Yeah, that's true.
They're going for it.
Too long a field goal for Vosterichian.
Well, Leslie's got a whopper of a leg.
They're not going to have time here. Yeah, the clock down to 8 seconds.
So they may talk about it here with 42 seconds remaining. Colorado's ball, 4th down and 4, and leading by 3. Well, Colorado has had its second thought now, and they will go for the field goal try. 46 yards. Neil Vosterichian is in. And though Leslie has the longer leg, Neil has 11 straight field goals from outside 40 yards. Roscoe will hold it. On its way. And he got it. His career long at 46. And it's 20-14 Buffalo. We have 37 seconds to play in the first half. Colorado has used a 46-yard field goal from Vosterichian to go ahead 20-14. Aggies will get the ball now, and they have 2 timeouts remaining. Jason Leslie is in to kick it away with McElroy and Parker deep.
And as we mentioned, McElroy has returned 4 kickoffs for touchdowns in his career.
Aggies have 2 timeouts remaining. Here's special teams time right here. Well, he might try this one. Yes, he will. He's 3 yards deep in the end zone, and he brings it out to the 20. Where it'll be first down. Leland McElroy. Turns your mouth to cotton every time he gets a crack. If you're on the other side of the ball.
Yep. He's had 14 carries for 36 yards, 1 reception for 27. And I think that was his first attempt at returning a kickoff. So they've held him well under 70, 75 yards in the first half in total yardage.
32 seconds, second half, 3 plays. Maybe 4. Not with running play. Now they'll spend the timeout, or will they just let the clock run down and go to the clubhouse trailing by 6? They're letting it run. A&M's averaging starting point in the first half of play has not been particularly good. It's been their own 17-yard line, so field position hasn't been a particularly a good ally for the Aggies. And they will go to the clubhouse now with a score at halftime. Colorado 20 and Texas A&M 14. Coming up, the Prudential halftime report.
We're back in Boulder, Colorado with a score, Buffalo's 20 and Texas A&M 14 at halftime. The big story of this ball game at this point is the injury to Colorado's quarterback, Coy Detmer. We were told he had an injured anterior cruciate
ligament in his right leg. He walked out
on the field for the referee's discussion just seconds ago. Here's Lynn Swan now with an update.
And Keith, that still holds true. I'm still being told it's a torn anterior cruciate ligament, but they have taped it up, and they say he is available to them if they need him. All right, he says he wants to play. I talked to Rick Neuheisel. I said, whose decision would it be if he plays? And Rick said it would be his. Coy says he's available to him. And that is what they've been telling me on the sideline, but it's still torn.
What do you say?
I say if it's a torn ACL, that you don't play. I got to believe that he's out there for moral support. He was out there holding hands when they flipped the coin or telling him which way you're going. And I think it's just moral support. If he's got a torn ACL, there's no way he goes back in the game.
You're not going to go out there with an immobile quarterback against Texas A&M's defense.
Right. If he does go back out, he doesn't have a torn ACL.
That's right. So it's a 20-14 ball game. The defense has provided most of the dramatics for the ball game, and it has had its moment. I'll guarantee you. It's been a furious pace, almost a frantic pace at times, and Colorado's intent and hope to wear down the Aggies at 5,300 plus feet so far hasn't done anything. But Jason Leslie has done his job. He has allowed Texas A&M to return actually just one good return on the kick. He knocked that ball way out of play.
When we asked yesterday to Neuheisel, he's going to kick it to him, he said, yeah, we're just going to kick it out of the end zone. Here's a look at the numbers after the first half. Look at the plays. 19 more plays for Colorado. Nobody can run the football. This is defensive statistics if you like them. Total yardage for A&M only 113. Each team with a turnover, and each team scored after they got a turnover.
So here comes R.C. Slocum's Texas Aggies with Leland McElroy and Vishon Smith lined up in the backfield, and Corey Bullock throws on first down, complete to Cannell. And Albert Cannell, who came from junior college, he's one of 5 JC transfers on this Aggie team. He is brought down by T.J. Cunningham.
Okay, Keith, watch what they do the first time out. They fake play action and through the wide receiver. Pulling 6 of 12, 74 yards. He had an interception. McElroy only 39 yards rushing. And there you see the leading receiver.
They need a yard for the first down on second down. Give it to McElroy. That little skip before he plants and heads into the line, and he's got the first down.
So look at the first half possessions for A&M. They had the ball 6 times, really, that one right before the half. They didn't even try to score. They didn't have it very long. Look at the number of plays each possession. They scored 1 touchdown, but look at where they get the ball. They have not had the ball outside their own 25-yard line all day.
Colorado making some changes now. Alan Wilbon comes out. Mike Phillips comes in to replace him at a linebacker position. Kenny Wilkins checks in. He is a nickelback. Pulling to throw, has a man in his face, and the pass is incomplete on first down. The pass intended for Smith out of the backfield, and Rozgadeksim.
Aggressive defense. Here, look at the stories. Offensively, A&M needed a balanced attack. Unfortunately, it is balanced, but it's not very productive. And defensively, their cornerback speed versus the wide receivers. Colorado's wide receivers have 140 yards receiving. Kind of a standoff. It's a little bit in favor, I would say, at this point of Colorado.
Second down and 10. That was Greg Jones in Pullig's face on that last play. 5-man front for the Buffaloes. Aggies have McCray in motion. That gives them 3 wide outs at the top. Pullig looks that way, goes that way. The pass is intercepted, but the whistles had stopped the play, and so it's going to be called before the snap.
Dead ball, false start on the offense, 5 yards, repeat second down.
And Greg Jones is mumbling because he caught the ball. That is the 16th penalty of the ball game and the 9th on the Aggies.
Corey Pullig still limping, I think, a little bit from that.
The guy's walking on his
Yeah, I
corner.
think somebody stepped on him in the first half, and maybe just stepped on him again.
So it's second down and 15 after the penalty. Pullig's got it, throws to the sidelines to Smith, and Smith is rolled out of bounds by Donnell Leomitti. who comes from the American Samoa and who's tougher than a doorknob.
Well, it's, the first possession of the third quarter, after the teams have gone over what the defenses are trying to do to them. Steve Ensminger told Pulig, what we have to do is go out, throw on first down, throw on running down, loosen them up, and then go back and try to get some running game going. But obviously, the Buffaloes and A.J. Kristoff defensively have made some adjustments also.
They're down 14. Well, they go to the middle. He's lucky that it is not going the other way. The ball was intended for Chris Sanders, who has good height at 6'4", but there were 4 Buffaloes in the neighborhood. Sean Perry will punt, but this time his long was his first, 68, and Wazga waits for it for Colorado. 20-14, the Buffaloes lead. Number 3, A&M. And that's a high hanger, but he doesn't turn over for him, and so it's going to settle down at the 36-yard line. It's a 36-yard punt with 12:34 to go in the third quarter.
If you look at the Colorado offensive leaders, Hessler, 6 of 10, 95 yards. Troutman handled most of the rushing. And Caruth, the leading receiver, with 73 yards on 4 receptions.
And John Hessler brings them out with Herschel Troutman behind him in a single back and double wide 2 tight ends. Hold it. Look at to Tennyson McCarty, the tight end. He stuffed it right in between the 40 and the 1 and picked up about 2 yards, but Mickens and company were all over it. Trying to go with a safe pass, and I think Texas A&M anticipating just exactly that. So Rick now with a major teaching job in front of him as Detmer lingers on the sidelines because of the knee injury. 2nd down and 8. On it with Troutman. And Troutman is up about the 41-yard line. Here's Lynn Swann.
Chief, and Rick Neuheisel went to the locker room. I asked him what he told John Hessler before he won the ball game. He simply looked at him and said, this is your chance, just go out and do it. I asked him how it would change the offense in the second half. He said what they've got to do is limit the offense, do the things that John Hessler feels comfortable with. He has not had that many reps, so we're just going to keep things throttled back a little bit for him. Keith?
Keith, I think that's a mistake in practice a lot of coaches make. They give all the snaps to the number 1 guy, not enough to number 2.
Hessler's pass was away, and he was in a bit of a jam back there with the 2 great big old Aggies putting some heat on him, and Phil Savoy had broken free. And if he'd have just taken his time, he'd have had him, because his feet got a little happy on him, and he threw it quickly. So they'll have to punt it. Andy Mitchell. You got 10 Aggies up there. They're coming. And they got him thinking about it, and he kind of half-shanked it. And on the bounce, it is taken by Mickens, and he pays for it at the 28. So it winds up a 37-yard punt with a 6-yard return. You're on ABC. This is A&M's best starting point in the entire ball game. And McElroy is outside to about the 36-yard line. So go from the 28, go up to about the 36, and that'll figure 8 yards for him. And an Aggie's down.
It's Brooks, number 78, who just pulled and blocked for him.
Holding a knee. 10:47 to go in the third quarter. CFA College Football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth. Leland McElroy in the ball game has carried it 17 times. He's gained 50 yards. And he's moving around with the ball. Russell, number 16, made the defensive play for Colorado.
Russell's the leader of this defense. Second on the team in tackles this year. Take a look from behind. Watch the footwork of Leland McElroy. Ball go inside. Nope, I can't go there. Trying to slide it to the outside. Good footwork, but just no place to go.
Their third down conversion is 1 for 6 so far. This ball is on the 34, third down and 4, and the pass is completed to Connell. And Al Connell, who is a junior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, has the first down. Your crowd today at Folsom Field, 53,849. That is the largest crowd ever at this stadium. And it bodes well for the coming Big 12 conference play. Steve Hatchell, the Big 12 commissioner, here this afternoon watching the ball game.
Steve's a good man. He'll do a very nice job. And we saw Carl James overnight. He's retiring, and wish him all the best.
45-yard line, same neighborhood. They're throwing right at T.J. Cunningham now as Gene Lowry comes into the ball game, senior out of Kilgore, and he makes the catch. So they're working on Cunningham. And they have to drop one of those safeties over there and up and up.
Well, they're not going to do that, Keith. That's going to be there all day, and Colorado will give them that, because what they're doing is they're shutting down the bread and butter, the thing that everybody wants to go to on A&M, and that's McElroy, and they got single coverage on the outside.
All right, they moved Jones now from the top to the bottom of the alignment, and the play is inside. And the guy making the hit is Kerry Hicks, number 94, on McElroy. So they flip-flopped them that time. They moved Wilbon into the game and took Phillips out. And this is what some people are going to consider a big, big upset in the Pac-10 if it holds that way, with Washington State beating UCLA. But I don't think it's that much of an upset, because the Bruins are really beat up. Second down and 8. 8:40 to go in the third quarter, and Corey Pulley quickly looks and then throws, and that's got to be a penalty. I mean, goodness sakes. He mugged him. Elton Davis had a double handful of shirt, and Gene Lowry had no chance. So that's going to be pass interference, 15 yards and a first down.
Well, one thing that's been constant is the outside passing to the receivers of A&M. Here Davis, number 4, gets up and bump and run this time. Grabs a hold of him there, and then when the ball's coming, grabs him with his back or left hand and spins him around. Unfortunately for Davis, the official was right behind him and saw that backhand. But that's what's there. They're taking away the running game with McElroy with 8 and 9 guys and one-on-one on the outside.
First down Aggies. They're moving it here in the third quarter. Pitch it to McElroy. Looking around. Nothing doing. Eat him up. It's Matt Russell again. And it looks like now that maybe Russell has become McElroy's spy, huh?
Yes. Let me just try and show you. You got one-on-one out here, and you've got one-on-one over here. And all of the rest, just hold on to it now, all of the rest are in here concentrating on the running the tailback right here. That's what they're going. 9 guys to stop the tailback. The 2 outside guys are on their own.
6 times McElroy has been tackled for a loss in the ball game. Second down, 13. Pulley lets it go. He's got it. Connell, touchdown. Albert Connell. He beat Elton Davis, who was playing it a little less than help. But that was a well-executed play and a well-thrown ball.
The offensive coordinator, Steve Ensminger, saw the same thing we saw. Hold it just a minute. Watch the receiver as he's going to go straight down the field. Throws the ball straight up at good throw by Pulley. It's a nice play. That's where you got to do your business.
And the Aggies are looking for the lead on this kick by Kyle Bryant, sophomore out of College Station. Hometowner, and he gives them the lead. Aggies.
Man-on-man. Cannell is the one that earlier had dropped the ball right through his hands, and Davis had intercepted it, set up a touchdown. This time, the reverse is true.
Named in his honor, Glenn Miller, moonlights Herrenberg. Ryan Pilliams will kick it off now for Texas A&M. Oh, he didn't get a whole lot of it. Kind of popped it up. And a fair catch was called. Uh-oh. And dropping back, all the way back to the 15-yard line, Scott Siegel, Clifton Peters, a linebacker, called a fair catch. So he gives them relatively poor field position.
Yeah, you should never back up. Let the guys in back of you move forward to catch it.
For Colorado, we talked about the number 4 offense against number 4 defense. Colorado had 20 points and 189 yards, doing pretty well. And defensively, they got a holding McElroy under 225 yards. They're doing a pretty good job of that in the first half.
All right, here come the Buffaloes now with John Hessler at quarterback. Herschel Trotman is the tailback. They've got 3 wideouts. And they run it with Trotman, and he's got some daylight. And he's out for the 30-yard line, and the Buffaloes have some real estate behind them now. 15-yard pickup.
Look from behind the offensive line. It's a good one. Stoltenberg is 64, comes around the block of Nioli. Look at the gaping hole in there. 78 is Thomas. That's a nice job of blocking. Only the few times they won't be doing that this half.
Trotman again, and he shakes one loose in the backfield, but doesn't quite get back to the line of scrimmage. He got away from Edward Jesper, but by that time there were too many of those fellows wearing the white there, and they took him down. So there's a loss of 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 12. Scoreboard saying 11, but it's 12.
It's been a substitution game, Keith, all day. I don't know if our viewers can see it, but when Colorado brings in 3 wide receivers, A&M brings in a 5th defensive back.
And tactical strategy all day long. This is Trotman popping out of there. 1st down. Big run by Herschel Trotman, who came to Colorado from Naples, Florida. He's a sophomore.
Number 39, Allen, is the free safety. 28, Driver, is an inside linebacker. Driver gets blocked. Allen has the chance. The safety's got to make the play. That time he didn't.
And the Buffaloes are stomping up at the 44 on their side of the field. Hessler fakes it, keeps it. Looks to throw it, goes down the middle. Tight end had it right in his hands and dropped it. Matt Lepsis had a big play. I mean, he might have scored.
Tried to catch it with his hands instead of with his body.
Yeah, should be.
That's those tight ends. Those.
Look out now! You're walking in deep water.
I know it. But he's a big ugly though, Keith. You can call him a big ugly because you know he's more an offensive lineman than he is a tight end. But he does a good job for this offense.
He just blew a touchdown possibility there.
I don't know if he could have run that far.
Well, you might be right. He had those little guys down there to help him.
But you know he was open because everybody's covering the wide receivers, and that was the right guy to go to.
And it's 2nd down and 10. Hessler has the ball knocked out, and the Aggies are all over it. 1st down for A&M. At the Colorado 37-yard line, Warwick Coleman is on the ball. Boy, they came in a hurry, and Hessler didn't have time to even think about taking a breath.
It's the inside linebacker is going to come straight up the middle. Now watch the back. The back's got to get over there and try to pick him up. That's the back's man. He runs into the quarterback, knocks the ball loose, turnover, A&M.
Well, the Buffalo ship's getting a little leaky right here.
Inexperience right there.
Yep.
37-yard line, first down, A&M. Cannell wide to the bottom. And McCray to the top. Pulig looking. He's looking for Cannell, and he threw it too high, and it's incomplete. T.J. Cunningham.
Yeah, they're going back to the wide receivers where they've done some good. Go back to the previous play. 43 is Holman. Gets in, knocks the ball loose. Troutman should have moved up, and Hessler should have given him a little bit of time, or he should have checked out of the play. Talking to the quarterback there, he's got to give him time to move around to pick up your man or check out of it.
Throw it out quickly to McCray. McCray just, no, it's Sanders, Chris Sanders. And Sanders, who's the big guy at 6'4", 220 plus. And he turns in a big play and an Aggie first down at the 17.
The last 3 plays for the Aggies have been passes to the outside or wide receivers. That's where you got the single coverage. Get it out there and let your guys do some work.
Make it the 14, just inside of it. Finally went out of bounds. Oh, they're threatening. They lead 21-20. 5:40 to go in the third quarter, and they're knocking on the door again, and their whistle's blowing. And one of the big fellas may have got started a little soon, and now it's Colorado who's calling time to talk. And they're charging the Buffaloes with a timeout. There's a flag back in the end zone, but he clearly, they're going to pick it up.
Timeout was called prior to the infraction.
Okay.
They had
So
12 guys on the field. That's why
right.
they called timeout.
That's what it was. You're exactly right. They just counted them. That's the second time. So the Colorado Buffaloes are in timeout. And they're in trouble because Texas A&M right now is threatening to take control of this football game.
And they're doing it in a way that they're not accustomed to. Their bread and butter is really been taken away from them. They have to go to the wide receivers in the passing game to move the ball, and that's what they've done.
Aggie band came up with the team. They performed at halftime, and I don't think very many people left the stadium.
They were good. I've never seen them before.
Oh, I could sit all day and watch them. Hullabaloo. Texas A&M came into this ball game ranked number 3 in the country.
And that is one of the reasons right there. Doesn't get a lot of notoriety, not a lot of publicity, but he's the winningest active quarterback in college football.
Aggies opened with a victory over LSU, and everybody kind of yawned, and suddenly they found out last Saturday about LSU when they beat Auburn. So they beat a pretty good football team in their opening game. Ball is just inside the 14-yard line. First down. And they get him at the 12. Alan Wilbon and Steve Ruska make the tackle.
They are just not going to allow McElroy to beat him. If they're going to get beat, it's going to be with Pulig throwing to the outside receivers.
Ball just shy of the 11. A&M being very deliberate. The first quarter of today's game was just sheer chaos. I mean, it was just mayhem.
Yes.
And now it's become very deliberate. Pass, no. Play turned in. Chris Sanders and Pulig let it go outside. And Kenny Wilkins was on the cover.
Be throwing this ball right at us from the reverse side of the field.
He just throws that ball behind the receiver. But you saw number 3, Liamidi. He says, if I throw it inside, Liamidi's going to be there. Don't break the route in so quickly. Get wider and stay wide. And just the timing between the quarterback and the wide receiver is not good.
All right, Sanders is back up there on the top of your picture. The big receiver, Bunnell to the left. They go underneath to McElroy, and Leland never had a chance.
Yeah.
Never had a chance because they were all over him before the ball even. He's in the trenches there, and the big guys are knocking him around.
Watch as McElroy is right here, and the linebacker is going to follow him. Right there, I'm going to get right up in his back pocket. One of the plays that A&M liked was a screen play. They have not been able to get that play off because there's been a linebacker next to him all day long.
28-yard field goal try now for Kyle Bryant. Held the NCAA record long kick of 61 yards for a freshman. And he's a hometown. Block. I don't know who got it. Might have been Hicks. His only miss was blocked by LSU, and now he gets one blocked here by A&M.
I think you're right, Keith. I think it was Hicks, but I think he kicked it low.
Yeah, he got to it awful quick, didn't he? I'm not sure the guy even had the holder had the ball down.
94, jumping.
He's really quick.
Hard to tell there, but
look how quick he steps in to hit this ball. Pow! I mean, it's gone right now. I guess he was down, but it was really quick.
It was Hicks that got his hand up, but wasn't that long a field goal. You didn't have to hit it that. You could just hit it like an extra point. That's 94.
So they turn him away, and Colorado takes over at the 20 with Troutman behind Hessler, and Troutman looking for some daylight, finds some, and picks up about 8 your local listings for the game in your area, or call your cable operator. For the games that might be available on pay-per-view, they're all coming from ABC Sports. 4:10 to go, third quarter. This is Troutman. And Troutman has the first down. And they're getting a little feisty now. They're showing off a little bit as Kidd and Greer got into it for a second. 18 carries and 75 yards now for Troutman.
A little semblance of a running game now for the Buffaloes.
1-point ball game, 21-20 Aggies. And the big story of the day, Coy Detmer, injured knee, out of action. He's on the sideline. But we think that's only for emotional impact. Hessler has some time, goes down the middle, and it is incomplete. Pass intended for Phil Savoy. There's double coverage on Savoy.
But that's the way I think you have to do it with Hessler. You've got to use the strength, and that's your wide receivers. You've got to get them downfield and throw it deep to them. I think that time he had a better chance going outside than throwing inside to Savoy. Ruth had one-on-one.
Since his first drive, when he was so dramatic, Hessler's gone 4 of 11 for 18 yards. That first possession was something, wasn't it? Here he comes, option. And he's up to the 45-yard line. And if they give him a good mark, he'll have a first down. Dennis Allen, first man to get to him. Well, they'll probably trot the chains all the way across the field. This is what's been going on in the Big 8 today. Nebraska almost merciful in their game. Kansas winning. How about that Oklahoma score? They were having a hard time for a while with North Texas, but now they've rolled it up, you see. Oklahoma is Colorado's opponent next week up at Norman. So that's going to weigh heavily. The coaching staff here, which works in the Dal Ward building over there, they're going to be busy this week. Probably want to reshape a lot of their offense. Ooh, Wisconsin woke up, didn't they? Baylor got a win over NC State. Of course, Notre Dame pounded Texas. And Rice LSU is tonight. So is TCU Vanderbilt. Hard to imagine the Southwest Conference going away. It just doesn't sound like it. It's happening. This is Troutman. He's caught his own backfield and is going to lose. Walker, number 32, had penetration. Larry Walker, he just messed up everything. We mentioned the Big 12 a while ago. This is the way it's going to break down. You see the 4 schools from Texas plus the 2 teams out of Oklahoma will make up the Southern Division of the Big 12. And the Northern Division will consist of the old members of the Big 8, if you will. And that's a pretty attractive grouping.
I don't think it's been decided yet, Keith, if they're going to have a championship game at the end of the year. But, boy, I'll tell you, as good as that SEC championship game has gone.
That's Cunningham, isn't it? Looks like T.J. Cunningham is the man hurt on the play. Oh, it's 65. Okay.
That's Naoli.
Naoli, the right guard. Boy, that'd be a loss. Huge loss. He's a new daddy, too, Chris is. How many of you knew this? That Texas A&M was the 2nd winningest team in the 90s. Colorado is pretty obvious, but A&M has just been very quietly going along.
A&M is the only one in that group that has not won a national championship in the 90s.
Chris Naoli from Hawaii, 295-pound guard going to the sidelines. That'll be Clint Moore, senior from Longmont, coming in. Kind of interesting, too, in this realignment, Bob. Next year, Nebraska will play Colorado in the last game of the season instead of the usual game with Oklahoma. So it's kind of interesting. Still cold anywhere.
Yes, wherever they play it.
Cold, yeah. 2nd down and about 10. Hessler goes up the middle. On the run, it's Caruth, and he can't track it down. He had Ray Mickens running with him.
Right there, yes. Well, Mickens is almost following Caruth now wherever he goes, especially when he gets into the slot. And he can run with him almost step for step. Caruth is
bigger.
Timed in 4.29, and he is bigger. He's 5'11", and of course Mickens is only 5'8".
Hessler 1 out of his last 6 passes. Maybe he ought to try to go back to that tight end. He's got Lepsis in there right now. Tennyson McCarty seemingly is the better of the tight end receivers. Aggies got 6 people up there, and a 7th is coming, and Hessler's got a problem. And they will punt it. Brandon Mitchell, Reggie Brown, and then comes Maxwell and everybody else.
Well, they had a little blitz on, and just Hessler just got a little happy and turned it under.
Mitchell into punt. His 4th of the day. Mickens is going back to receive it. Andy Mitchell's long one was a 59-yarder that was left to bounce. No pressure. Ball won't turn over, though. It depends on the bounce here, and it bounces sideways. Coming back upfield, guys. You better knock it down. So the ball is slapped dead up around the 27, 28-yard line, and this is how the AP Top 25 looked when the day started.
Colorado is the only one in the top 10 that is losing at this point.
So the ball is just inside the 29 for the Aggies as they take possession, and I think this will be their best starting point outside of the time they fumbled. They had the fumble recovery over here, but after a punt at least. First half field position and starting points were not very good.
Well, how about Maryland, Keith? That's a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah,
huh?
I think so. Yeah. And their top gun quarterback hasn't played yet, has he?
Next week.
First down and 10. That's Sanders in motion. He looks at him. He's rolling that way. He's got him, but he goes instead to Cannell. Sanders is wide open. Absolutely wide open. And let's check in with another fellow who's wide open. John Thomas. Buckeyes are greasing the wheels for the Irish next week.
Next week. It's not supposed to be that easy, though. You're not supposed to get that open.
Second down and 10, and falling down. from the snap of the ball is Corey Pullitt, and I think either the center or the guard probably stepped on his foot. He had that look about it.
Tried to throw the ball away. Watch your feet.
Yep, there it is.
It's the left guard. That's Calvin Collins. That's Calvin Collins is the roommate of McElroy. He's a big guy too. Roomed with him for 3 years. Kind of takes care of him. He says he's 6'3" and 290. He says, I'm just a fun-loving kid. I'm just a little boy trapped in a big man's body. 290.
Third down, and my goodness, that's more like 17. Pullick throws underneath, and Smith dropped the ball. Ball wasn't well thrown. It was thrown low down around the knees.
It's a well-designed play, though. They had him wide open. That's the fullback. All eyes are on McElroy. But he was wide open. Watching right here, the fullback. Nobody is going to go with him. Kind of sneaks underneath, fakes. If he completes this ball, he runs for a long way.
Yep, and there's foot to him. Sean Terry's in to punt. Roots it out. Rosga calls a fair catch. And they'll put it in play at about the 39-yard line after a 39-yard punt with 57 seconds to play in the third quarter. And the Aggies are leading the Buffaloes 21-20.
You know, Keith, at the beginning of the game, I said we were looking forward to seeing two of the best players in the country, and Coy Detmer and in Leland McElroy. Well, Coy went out early in the first half with a knee injury, so we haven't seen much of him. And Leland McElroy has been stopped cold by 9 defenders, and what it's gotten down to is both offenses have had to play left-handed. They haven't had the benefit of having what they'd like to do, so it's who's going to adjust that's going to win this ball game.
Hessler pitches the ball to Caruth. Caruth's got some blocks. He's got Mickens after him. He's got a first down. Mickens gets him at the 45-yard line. Ray Mickens saw it coming, and with his great speed was over to get him, but that play was well executed.
Now, one of the stories was cornerback speed against wide receiver speed, and there you saw it. Mickens wasn't his man, but he made the play, and that saved the touchdown. There was nobody else.
He doesn't look like he's breathing hard either. I don't know, maybe the altitude is a state of mind the first day, but the second day, Aggies don't play next week. They got a week to get over it. Then they got to go play next month at Texas Tech. Hessler looking for a pass. Now he goes big. He's got Kidd. He missed him. He had a touchdown with James Kidd and didn't hit him.
Boy, he had him open, too. You got to believe that that's a touchdown if Coy Detmer's in the lineup. He just threw it too far upfield and not enough across field. There's a look at Detmer.
Greer's trotting off the field and coming to the sidelines like he might be winded. And he's out of there for the moment.
That was a touchdown with Coy Detmer's in there. There's no question about it.
Andre Williams is in at the corner. He's got to try to cover Caruth. He's got fresh legs. They throw it to Caruth. He's got the ball right in front of a new man, and he's out of bounds just at the marker.
Caruth with all the speed, just going to run it out. Pick up the first down.
I don't think he quite made it.
It's going to be close.
Just short, I think. They'll try to change across the field and see about it, but that was quick recognition on the fact that Greer had come out, and they put Caruth right in front of Williams and go right in.
That's for sure.
Enough of the ball, just the whisker of it. First down.
There's a look at this. Kyle Smith, he's a junior, but as a freshman, they nicknamed him Scud, as in the missile, because he fired off the line really hard, but nobody knew where he was going. said, I kind of liked it for a while, but I don't know.
Caruth now has caught the ball 5 times for 83 yards. And Donovan Greer is back in after having a whiff of oxygen. Marlon Barnes is the single back. And Barnes has the ball, and 3 Aggies tackle him as he picks up about 3 yards, and the clock shows 25 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. The 2nd down and 7.
Watch the clock. Watch the clock. Neuheisel's alerting his quarterback. Doesn't have to run a play, I don't believe.
No, they didn't turn on the 25-second clock, so they'll quarter ends at 21-20. The Aggies lead. And we'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC station. We go to the final quarter of play. Texas A&M 21, the number 3 Aggies, number 7 Colorado 20. The ball rests just at the 30-yard line, and this is the story of the game as Coy Detmer in the first half twists his knee, and John Hessler steps in as his replacement.
He's been doing well, but this play happened just a few plays back. Had a man open way downfield and threw it too far downfield. If he threw it more to the left side, kid could have ran to it a certain touchdown.
That was the certain touchdown, as Bob called it, but there was another time when he had a man open and missed him as well. He threw the ball long. So there have been 2 occasions in which the Buffaloes had opportunities, and Hessler didn't hook up with his receiver. He's a 6'1", 190-pound sophomore from Brighton, Colorado, a baseball player, and pitches the ball late to Lyndon Henry, and Henry picks up a Marlon Barnes it is, and Barnes picks up a first down. That's in the Pac-10. Martin Pullman. First down for Colorado at the 20. Aggies got 4 men down right now. Hessler with all day. Now throws, and it is caught. McCarty, touchdown.
Times that A&M only brings 4 guys, and Hessler has a lot of time, athletic ability, scrambles around. McCarty, who came in with only 3 receptions on the year, no touchdowns, the backup tight end makes a big play. Going for 2. You're up by 5, you go for 2.
And Colorado spins a timeout rather than wasted opportunity.
A&M didn't they, Keith?
Well, he pointed in Colorado's direction. Now he goes the other way with it. It is an A&M timeout. So 26-21 as you see McCarty score the touchdown. We're waiting on a 2-point try.
There is a standard chart that goes around. All the coaches have it in college and pro that if you're ahead or behind by a certain number, you always go for 2. And when you go for 2 points when you're leading is when you're up by 1, obviously, so you get to 3. And they're up by 5 here, so you want to get up by 7. If you miss it, you're still up more than a field goal. So all these charts are upstairs in the press box with the assistant coaches, and they signal down, let's go for 2, and they work on these 2-point plays all the time in practice.
Look at this.
Take a timeout. See, that's a good idea by A&M. Anything strange, take a timeout.
So they've taken one of the special plays out of Rick Neuheisel's book.
There you go. You got a bunch of guys out here, and then you got all these receivers out here. Now you got to have so many guys on the line.
A&M only had 2 over here, so they're saying, wait a minute, we don't have enough to cover these 3. So the smart thing to do, I think that they would have run a play from there. I really do.
Well, it
he
bore
would have
some
to throw it quick because he didn't have many guys around the ball.
It bore some resemblance to what was once called the old swinging gate.
Yes.
They had broken the gate and split it up.
Well, that brings A&M down only 1 timeout, doesn't it? Yeah.
So it's decision-making time, and we see they're playing their games with it. But A&M spending timeouts to do it. They got 1 left now, just 1. That might be expensive down the road because we've got 14:28 to play in this game.
Rick Neuheisel, the 2nd youngest coach in college football. Ron Cooper at Louisville is 4 days younger.
Marlon Barnes is the running back. Hessler's pass is thrown to the corner and incomplete. And Hessler's flat on his back. I mean, he was taken down in a hurry. Aggies did not give him any time.
Well, he had a linebacker or a defensive back in his face. 21.
Sean
That's
Horn.
Horn, yes. He is the nickel back that's been playing a lot. He just blitzed, and that stopped the whole play. Alley-oop it. Now that's a knuckleball, Keith. You talk about a knuckleball.
Yeah, but look at Anderson. He almost caught that thing.
Almost caught it. If it hadn't been a knuckleball, he would have caught it.
So the 2-point play goes awry. And at 14:28, it's 26 Colorado and 21 Texas A&M. And the Buffaloes' Jason Leslie now will kick off. Well, this, to some degree, is sort of what we expected, but it's happening in an unexpected way.
Well, it's not pretty because the defenses are really dominating and they've been disruptive. And, you know, last week we did Tennessee and Florida, and boy, was that fun. You had a lot of passes here and passes. This week, not much defense. This week, a lot of defense.
Even though there are quite a few points on the board.
That's exactly right. Because you've got speed and skill at a lot of different positions in there. You can't hold them down forever.
All right, here comes Leslie. And he's knocked it into the end zone, but McElroy, only a yard deep, is going to come with it. And he comes out to the 23-yard line. Here's the Buffalo touchdown.
He's got plenty of time on this one, but he can't see because everybody's in the center. So he slides to the outside and points to McCarthy, says, get outfield a little bit, get outfield, I'll lay this up. That is a great catch. Watch this catch. This is outstanding. This guy doesn't catch a lot of balls. The backup tight end made a huge catch.
That's a touchdown pass by John Hessler now in relief of Troy Detmer, and 2 touchdowns rushing by Hessler. Texas A&M averages 499 yards in their first 2 games offense. Today, so far, only 210. Crowd trying to help the defense now as Pulig stands up quickly and throws incomplete. Number 37 was right there, and Marcus Washington, he might well, if he'd have realized the ball was coming to that man, he might have had that thing going the other way.
Here's a look at the numbers after 3 quarters. The score at that time was 21-20. Plays, big advantage for Colorado. There's a total yardage for A&M. Keith just mentioned they usually have nearly 500. Turnovers.
Second and 10. Lets it go for Cannell, and he can't track it down. TJ Cunningham running with him.
You've got to throw that, Keith. A&M has got to keep doing what they're doing. They've tried throughout the game to go back to McElroy on different things, screens and swing passes. There is a man in his back pocket on every play. That doesn't mean you go away from him entirely. You got to keep going back to him, but you got to keep going outside of your receivers. That's where your single coverage is, and you may miss it 3 times, but you'll hit it once for a big one.
Third and 10. Why is TJ Cunningham dragging an arm?
They go that way again, throw it underneath to the fullback, and Detmer Smith will be well short of the first down. But T.J. Cunningham, Bob, is running along over there. The corner dragging it, his left arm is hanging.
I think he's trying to sucker the guys to get him to throw his way. I think he wants some action.
He's had some.
I think it's a hoax.
Sean Terry is in the punt now as a gust of wind comes whipping over Folsom Stadium. Flags are quite stiff. Pressure coming, kick is away. Low line drive. Rosga calls fair catch. And maybe if he'd have waited, he'd have brought it back some, because that was really ripped right to him. 13 and a half minutes to play in the ball game. Well, RC hasn't had a whole lot of luck against the top 10 teams, because he, over the years, have bumped heads with guys who are up from the very tippy top. This is Lyndon Henry. Big run for the big sophomore from Port Arthur. And it's a first down up around the 42-yard line.
That offensive line. Watch the center. The center is going to snap the ball. 64 is the center. He's going to snap it and pull. Smith is 52. He gets out there and gets a piece of something. And then the rest of it is just Henry, who fumbled earlier in the ball game, but made up for it there.
You think Aggies are getting a little winded?
It might be.
5,334 feet, remember?
Been doing a lot of substituting in the, both offensively and defensively, but it'll get to you later.
I walked up the hill from the parking lot and almost expired this morning. Are you kidding me?
Pittsburgh, and why they didn't put up much of a fight. I still think San Francisco and Dallas have got the advantage in the whole league.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Dead ball, false start on the offense, 5 yards, repeat second down.
So the Buffaloes blow concentration, cost them 5. Here's Swanee.
Keith, you and Bob were talking about the altitude and how it's wearing on Texas A&M. When I talked to the trainer, he said at halftime, he went in, it was the first time all season long that the Aggies haven't had to put anybody on IV or they haven't cramped up. So he feels like his team is in great shape and that the altitude is more psychological, and they're in this ball game and it won't bother them.
Yeah, well, different thing though. You don't need IV ain't going to help altitude.
Well, that means the temperature last week at Tulsa when they played at home was 120 degrees on the artificial turf.
Here goes Henry trying to get outside. And they rope him in after he picks up a couple. So they're going to be looking at third down and short. Reggie Brown, number 46, leading the tacklers there with some help from his pals. Trent Driver, 28's in it.
Reggie leads the team in tackles this year. He's one of those linebackers that is really quick.
6'2", 232 pounds. He's a senior, and he's from Austin.
You can say that about almost all these defenders for the Aggies. They are really quick.
Third down and a yard. Third and 11. Third and 11. Here's Hessler putting it up. He's got Caruth under it. He dropped it. Had it in his hands.
We'll go all season, Keith, without seeing as many of one-on-one confrontations about good receivers and good defensive backs. I mean, they're out here all day playing man-to-man. This is a good throw. You have got to throw it where he threw it because Mickens had good coverage.
Strong wind. That wind's really whipping. Now watch his punt. He got it to turn over, though, and it just bores a hole in it. And it's going, and it's going, and it's slapped back. Where have they put it?
Well, if the rule is if it breaks the plane of the goal line, it broke the plane, but the ball itself was over and into the end zone. And when it breaks the plane now in the NFL, it's got to hit the ground. There's a look at that wind. He was punting into that wind.
Got a 58-yarder out of it.
Well, I'm sure he wasn't worried about kicking it into the end zone.
Aggies didn't have anybody back there either because they didn't want to be messing with it with that wind blowing like it is. Because sometimes if you get it up there and get a trail dragger, it'll start backing up on you and you can't crack it down. So they get a break. The ball comes out to the 20. First down.
And A&M and Pulley will have the win in the fourth quarter.
Leland McElroy at the line of scrimmage. The offensive line surge is good for 2 yards. Time permitting, Thrifty Car Rental post-game report with scores and highlights about the nation. I don't know, have there been any real big surprises today?
I don't know. Let's see.
Washington State, UCLA would probably come into the category of at least a
Miami
surprise.
got beat.
Virginia Tech, but I don't know how much of a surprise that is, because Tech's a pretty good team.
Right. Look at this right here. 121 yards for McElroy. He averages 322 a game.
Well, they go out there outside to Gene Laurie, and what a heck of a play that was by the tough guy in the secondary, Steve Rosga. He saw that play coming. He smelled it, and he took off like a bulldog, and he just zeroed it. You can hear this one.
Pulley thought he had a mismatch. Look at the safety. Rosga's getting over there late. So he takes the ball and just throws it out there. Rosga sees it coming and gets to him before he can make a move on him. That's a heady play by Rosga.
It's 3rd down and 7. He's got a man, and he missed him. He had Albert Cornell wide open and threw the ball high and behind him. And the Aggies are 2 of 11 on 3rd down conversion.
That's tough.
Colorado leads it 26-21.
He had him open, but he didn't have him open at the time when he was supposed to be open. So you've got to adjust. You drop him back to throw, he wasn't open, but you've got to adjust to what you see.
Wind with him, and he hits a low line drive that's going to go over the head of Ruska, and it's going to go all the way into the end zone. 76 yards, but it comes back to the 20. So it's a net 56. The clock becomes important now, with Colorado leading 26-21 over the 3rd-ranked Aggies, 9:28 remaining. Obviously, there's plenty of time, but that clock can get away from you real quick in the 4th quarter. And Texas A&M would like to control it and punch it down the field if they could. Right now, Colorado has the ball, 1st down at the 20-yard line. And Hessler rolls out looking and throws. His tight end Lepsis is wide open. And he rumbles like an 18-wheeler all the way to the 30-yard line.
Did you say he rumbles? Here's Lepsis right here. The play's going to go out this way, and he's going to find an open area right down here in the middle of the defensive coverage. He just sneaks out there. If a guy that weighs 265 pounds can rumble, he can sneak. 49 yards.
Here's the rumbling part right here.
Big play. 1st down pass into the wind.
Put it on the 31, 49-yard play. 1st down, Colorado. Herschel Troutman is the running back. And he's got it. And he's got a little crack for about 3-4 yards. Number 95, Edward Jasper. Got a piece of him. Big fella from Troop, Texas.
Carl Durrell, Keith, is the offensive coordinator for the Buffaloes and good friend of Rick Neuheisel's. And when Rick got the job, that was one of the first assignments that he made, was to bring Carl Durrell back with him. And I asked Carl yesterday, I said, who calls the plays? They're talking together right now. He says, well, we kind of give and take a little bit. There's Carl over on the right side. So we give and take. He calls some, I call some. He's a wide receiver for Neuheisel at UCLA.
Troutman finally controls it, breaks 2 tackles, and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Boy, I mean, those Aggies were shooting bullets at him, and he got away from Dat Nguyen, the Vietnamese linebacker. And that had him way back there behind the line of scrimmage.
The Buffs almost lost another quarterback because Hessler was really hit.
You better take that option out of the offense.
Well, that's one of the things that Hessler does better than Detmer. Take a look at this. A&M in the 2nd half, only 6 yards rushing.
3rd down, and boy, it's a good 5.
Trotman wriggling around in the traffic and takes a hit. And I think that hit came from the big guy down at the bottom, who's finally getting up, and I'll tell you who it was. It was Wynn, number 9.
Looks like Neuheisel's going to go for the field goal into the wind.
Well, that's a long one. That wind is really howling. But the office building where the coaches have their offices may shield part of it.
Good point. And they practice here on this field. This is their home field, obviously, and they know the winds.
Oskarichian has hit one from 30 and hit one from 46.
Got to get going. They only got 6 seconds.
2, 1. Well, let it go.
Nope.
And it's good. I mean, the snap came with a 0 on the play clock.
That's a big 3 points because it puts them up by 8. Big kick.
I think the crowd was willing the clock to slow down.
That ball cleared the uprights. I don't know, Keith. You mentioned that building may block that wind. It may. I mean, it's a strong wind he's kicking into.
But it's good. The question was whether or not the snap would come before the play clock at 25 seconds expired, and the snap came, I mean, just a hair before the 0. And the kick snapper is Brian Stoltenberg, the regular center. You know who else is on this staff that'll jog some memories around Big 8 country is Ben Gregory, with a pretty good running back.
Oh, yes.
Ryan Cabral played right here. Dynamite player. John Embry on the staff. Fred Von Oppens come over. He was at Stanford and in the pros. Chuck Heater played at Michigan. Bob Hawk, the special teams coach. What a good staff. It's McElroy at the 4. Let's see if he can get a little help. Out to the 30 and then driven back on a hard tackle by Hannibal Davies.
Let's go back to that field goal. Take a look right over here. That's the second clock, okay? You get the ball snapped. Let's watch that. It goes to 0, and the ball is snapped after it goes to 0.
Boy, it was just simultaneous.
It was. You know, the back judge is in charge of the delay of game. He could not have been looking at the 25-second clock and the snap at the same time.
McElroy is out of the game because he took a wallop on that return, just laid him right on his back, and it might have deflated him just a little bit. So you figure he's going to come back pretty quickly because he trotted off. But DeAndre Hardiman is in there at the tailback position right now. They're not going to put that 18-year-old freshman in there. You can see that Leland has taken a pretty good pounding all day. Hardiman is a freshman too, but he's 225-pounder and he's a little older.
Leland has only started. This is his 3rd start, and I'm sure this is the toughest defense that he's been up against.
2nd down and 8 for the Aggies with 6.5 minutes to play. Pulig's pass is good to Connell for a first down. So that'll move the ball to the 41-yard line.
And it's Pulig's game now. I mean, even if Leland comes back in, Pulig is a guy that has to bring him back.
Oskarichian hitting that 41-yard field goal a moment ago. He was 13 straight outside of 40 yards. So
he's a good kicker, no question.
This is Hardiman, the big freshman tailback, and he's going to run for 8 yards on that carry near midfield.
Now, the Buffaloes know that McElroy is out of the game, so I think their intensity as far as stopping that one tailback may not be what it was when McElroy was in there. We'll have to see if the defenses that they're calling are the same. They may, with McElroy out, they may try and double some of the wide receivers and play it straight against the run.
Well, the medical folks are having a real good look at Leland. You can't trust him because he's such a gamer. He'd go back. And they're not going to let him go back until he's fit. That ought to be picked off, and it goes right through the hands of Kenny Wilkins. My goodness, it was as soft as a glass of buttermilk, and he just dropped it. Whew.
I never drank buttermilk, but I guess it's soft. My partner said so.
It's tipped, and then there's nothing on it. All you got to do is catch it.
Yeah. Now you got to react. They were going one way. Oh, Wilkins, you got to catch that ball.
Sir.
Easy. You got to catch that one.
McElroy finally talks his way back into the game. Third down, the Aggies are 2 out of 11. They give it to Leland, and there's nothing doing. Third down and a long 2, and he got about half of it. The middle of the Colorado defense is holding up late in the game with 5:20 to play.
Then Swan just tells us that McElroy had his bell rung a little bit, but he's back in the ball game, so we assume he's all right. Now, do you go for it here? You got 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes left in the game.
They're going. Now they're going to call a timeout.
It's their last timeout.
Yes. They have no more times out remaining at 4:55 to play in the game and looking at 4th and 2. That 0 you see there is critical. And it was caused by Colorado being in a position to go for 2. Then they come out with a funny looking alignment, and that caused another one. And all of it happened early in the 4th quarter.
A&M used 2 timeouts around the fact that Neuheisel was going for 2 points. First, they were surprised that he was going for 2, and then the formation that he came out in caused them to take the second one. So they're out of timeouts.
4th and a short 2. Pass, no. Bullock missed it.
That's not the ball game, though. Nope. That's not the game. But they're causing A&M to play left-handed.
Bullock is hobbling. I don't know. It looks like an ankle. It's really bothering him.
I like the call. Get a little rollout action. Runner pass option, but that's a poor throw and not a very good effort. I guess it's just too far outside. But
yep. All right, Colorado's ball with Trotman back in there as the single back. It's just across midfield where it's first down. And Trotman finds some room in the middle and picks up about 5.
Stoltenberg, 64, with a pancake of number 28, Driver. Well, early on, we talked about offense number 4 in the nation versus number 4 defense. 29 points, a lot of yardage. And stop McElroy, they've done that. Only 149 yards, so Colorado's got it their way. But 4 minutes, the thing A&M needs to do is attack. They got to start blitzing and cause fumbles right here on this series.
Yeah, they've only got a 4-man front there.
Yeah, they've seemed to have backed off.
Trotman's going to pick up a couple of more yards on 2nd down and a long 4. But instead of just selling out and going after him, and now's the time when you would think that
they got their first touchdown of the ball game with their defense when they knocked the ball loose, and they were blitzing. Now they've seemed to come out of that blitzing, and they're not doing it. That's when you disrupt things and make the timing of the handoff of the quarterback knock it out of his hand.
All right, it's 3rd and 2. We got Caruth wide, Anderson wide. Give it a Trotman. He's close. I don't think he's quite there. So Colorado's going to be looking at 4th and short. You got to kick it down there and let them make them go as far as you can, don't you?
Depends on how far it is.
That's a good yard.
Let's see.
I got to kick it.
You got to kick it. I got to kick it too. Your defense has been playing well. You got McElroy under wraps. I'd back them up.
Back them up.
They got no way to stop the clock. They're going to let the clock run down here, then they're going to...
Yeah, they're spending seconds here.
Then they're going to kick it. Let the clock run down.
Why not take the 5 yards? What difference?
Well, this tells me they're going for it. If they take a timeout, that tells me they're going for it and they're not going to punt it. Because why take a timeout and then punt it?
Yeah, you're right. But.
Timeout gives them some time to talk about it, too. You know, Neuheisel's done a great job, Keith. A while back, Colorado lost 4 coaches from last year's team, including the head coach, Bill McCartney, their offensive and defensive coordinators. They lost 10 players to the NFL. 7 players of those 10 were drafted in the first 3 rounds. Neuheisel comes in, the second youngest coach, and all he does is win his first 3 and is about to beat the number 3 ranked team in the country.
But he's lost his starting quarterback for next week at Oklahoma.
That's critical. That's Troy Detmer. If you're just joining us, a knee injury earlier in the ball game. We got conflicting reports, but we got a report that it was maybe a partially torn ACL. He's out has a mobile cast on his leg. He's moving around, but they're going to have to adjust without him because he was special. A&M didn't have a tough schedule. This was the one game they needed to maybe go undefeated all year.
It's 4th and 1. They're going. Quarterback dives, following Stoltenberg, Heath, Irwin, and Chris Nioli. And it appears he's got it. He does. Poor baby. That was a gamble.
Yes. And I'm sure, take a look. 64 is Stoltenberg. 63 is Irwin. That's 9 as Wynn, the linebacker. They're running right at him. You know, Keith, early in the game, A&M defensive line was winning that battle. Now, late in the game, it's Colorado people that are winning the line of scrimmage.
And 2:15 and counting. First down, Colorado at the Aggie 39.
This was my favorite formation here. They'll kneel down.
Put it down and start the clock. Texas A&M does not have a timeout. And, oh, well, Bob just had a sob and a half.
Who missed that field goal? Is that Purdue missed the field goal?
Yes. The last time Texas A&M beat a top 10 team on the road was a while ago, 16 years ago. They beat Penn State, in-state college, 1979. Here's the Buffalo schedule. And this has a lot of meaning, particularly next week when they play at Norman. Then they have Kansas here. Nebraska will be here on the 28th of October. That's tough stop next week with a new quarterback.
That is a tough stop, and were it not for the injury to Detmer, you would think that maybe Neuheisel's got this team going where they could run the schedule, but he's a special player, and I don't know if he can adjust that quickly to a new quarterback.
Penalty flags.
Because Hessler will be nervous next week, a lot more so than this.
Aggies are going to see it one more time.
You're going to have to punt it.
Yeah,
Offside on the defense. 5 yards for third down.
that's one way to, after Colorado's backing up, that's one way for A&M to stop the clock.
There's a look at A&M. See the Southwest Conference schedule they go into. Texas Tech, SMU, Baylor, Houston. Middle Tennessee State comes in. And then a big game at the end of the year against their arch rival, Texas.
It's 3rd down and 9. And they're not going to give them the ball.
That's enough.
That's it. So they won't get it back. They were able to run it out, even though the Aggies jumped offside trying to kill the clock and save it. And we're headed for the final score as Colorado upsets Texas A&M 29-21 in Boulder. The genuine Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are Ray Mitkins with 8 tackles and a blocked field goal, and John Hessler from Colorado, who was 10 of 20, 177, had a passing touchdown and ran for 2 in relief of the injured Coy Detmer. In celebrating its 25th year of NCAA sponsorship, Chevrolet donating $1,000 to each school's General Scholarship Fund to reward outstanding students for academic achievements and help those in financial need.